and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at a scenario where the United Arab Emirates formed an empire. I decided to do the UAE next because I had it on my list for quite a while. So we've done a lot of countries in the Middle East. We've done Turkey, Egypt, Israel and Iran. Saudi Arabia will be coming soon, as well as Iraq and Oman. Yes, I am doing a lot of countries in the Middle East. I can guarantee you that the Middle East is my main focus. Pakistan and Afghanistan are close to getting their empires. I'm just going to tell you about the empire series for a minute. It won't end. I'm just figuring out ways to do it. Greece is going to be getting their empire soon. Algeria, Nigeria, DRC, and South Africa. South America, only Peru is on the tier. North America, Mexico, and Canada. Europe, it's really just Switzerland, Finland, and Greece, actually. Oceania, Australia, that's it. Asia's got quite a bit. Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Myanmar, Japan, South... Yeah, there's a lot. But the UAE is... If they wanted to expand, it would be very tough, because they're a good ally of Saudi Arabia. They're not that strong. They are definitely one of the strong countries in the Middle East. They're quite rich, so they can make an army. But the only issue is, Saudi Arabia is got the oil. They can make lots of money. They are probably... I know we're talking about strength here, but Saudi Arabia is the strongest country if you think about it. I know Turkey is in the Middle East, but Saudi Arabia might actually just be the strongest country. But anyway, the UAE will be buffed. NATO no longer blah 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 blah. The UAE is going to be declaring war on Oman. Oman is really their only option. They could attack Qatar and Bahrain and have some island areas and have an exclave, but I don't think the UAE is ready for that yet. So attack Oman. I guess there is also Iran if they had a navy, but they can't really do that. Now, lucky thing about this, all of Oman's stuff is right up here, so the UAE is going to have a pretty easy time being able to capture all of it. So if they just focus their troops around this area, they should be fine. That's the only issue with Oman. They don't have much stuff down here. This is mostly desert. So UAE troops immediately exit out from the country and capture as much land as they can, with their goal being to capture Muscat. Oman's military is not good, probably one of the worst actually. And it's the UAE's goal to encircle and capture Muscat, which after doing extremely well and doing that, they encircle the city. And lots of fighting against the Omani army is essentially competitive. They eventually push through and capture it, and continue on capturing any major city remaining. But after they capture that circle it's on about, Oman's going to surrender. And that's it, so Oman doesn't actually have much more. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. So in a peace treaty, the UAE is going to do a ballsy move and annex all of Oman. I know this doesn't seem like very smart, but think about it. If they did a peace treaty with Oman where they only took half, they would not be able to attack anybody else until the peace treaty ends, with Oman. Taking half of Oman would not be good. They would only have two options, Iran and Saudi Arabia, and they annexed all of Oman to get access to Yemen. And if it isn't obvious already, yep, the UAE is going to declare war on Yemen. There really is no other option. Funny thing is, Saudi Arabia decides that they want some of Yemen to get more oil, kind of hypocritical, but So Saudi Arabia is also going to join this war, making the UAE very angry and even breaking ties with Saudi Arabia, although they had a plan to invade Saudi Arabia, so it doesn't really make any sense. And Saudi Arabia is not going to see any issues. Their army is fine. So while Saudi Arabia is invading through the more important parts of Yemen, we have UAE troops exiting out from Oman, literally from a desert into another desert. They see no resistance over here, because again, this is the area I was talking about, which isn't very useful. They do capture some oil areas, which they find kind of helpful, because, they're rich, but oil will make you even richer, because somebody called the Big Old USA will come over to you with some stacks of money. The UAE is going to try and capture as much land as they can before Saudi Arabia just takes the rest, because Saudi Arabia is a very strong country, again. Eventually, after nearly getting down over to the border, we have Yemen surrendering over to Saudi Arabia. in like a way to save that country, I guess, from not being in the UAE Empire. So we have something like this. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, they basically just split Yemen. Now, the UAE is not an option. They will have to declare war on Saudi Arabia. They want to continue to expand their empire, and they really have no other choice but Saudi Arabia. And then they can attack Qatar, maybe get up to Jordan. But they're not strong enough, and the UAE knows this. They're not a dumb country, they're a smart one. So we have something going on between the UAE, Iran, and Iraq. It is very secret, only a few countries even know about it. And this is basically, it's secret, so nobody knows what it's about. Whoever knows about it already knows what it's about, so it's only like the government officials and stuff. So like the president of UAE, Iraq, and Iran only know about this. And it was a secret alliance formed between Iran, Iraq, and the UAE. Now, why was this alliance formed? They officially said it after like a meeting. I think you all know where this is going. Iran, Iraq, and the UAE declare war on Saudi Arabia. This is major, right? This is a big country one about. Iran, Iraq, and UAE is definitely going to overpower Saudi Arabia here. So immediately we have UAE sending out some of their reserves to capture this area of Yemen. Which again, this is very rebellious. The people here do not want to be part of Saudi Arabia in any way. So that's captured like within the first few weeks of the war. Before Iranian troops that were stationed in Iraq immediately exit out to capture any land that they can. And there's a massive battle between Iranian and Saudi Arabian ships in the Persian Gulf. It is now the UAE's task to capture this area of land, which again, this is a desert, but I don't care. So, the UAE sends out, like, basically their entire army to capture this area. And basically the UAE is trying to capture as much as they can before the Saudi Arabian army comes down, which is about now. And the UAE is going to have to fight back as hard as they can. They're going to struggle until Iran gets down to them, but Iran is most likely sending supplies into them. And in fact, those are supplies. And the UAE, with Iranian troops now in their country, is going to be able to hold off Saudi Arabia. And even push them back in some areas, which doesn't exactly go well, because Saudi Arabia's army is all the way down there. The Iranian Navy is able to put off landings across the coast, which is successful, because the Saudi Arabia's Navy got screwed up. And it looks like Saudi Arabia may not be ready for this war. A big spearhead goes out to capture Riyadh, which somehow succeeds, with like little fight back from the Saudis. And now we have the UAE using literally everything they've got in them to push up to Iran's border to encircle a massive amount of troops. Saudi Arabia, seeing this, is immediately going to take all these troops out to try and push back in. And the encirclement is complete. And Saudi Arabia is going to try and push back through, but the Iranian military is going to be able to stop them by the last thread. And they do get through. But yeah. And over 100,000 Saudi Arabian troops were encircled and killed. That's a lot. Think of it, they were fighting on this front line right here. At this point, Saudi Arabia is completely dead. I mean, still have Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah, and I can imagine there's a lot of troops there. But if we all think about it, this is now, they lost their capital and lost 100,000 troops. So Saudi Arabia is going to surrender to Iran, Iraq, and the UAE. Let's take a look at this peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, the UAE gets the most land. Iran gets nothing but war reparations from Saudi Arabia, and I didn't mention this, there was invasion of Kuwait, so Iraq won that war, finally. But, the UAE is completely stuck. They have nowhere to go other than Qatar, which, you know, that they're going to invade Qatar and win. So, they invade Qatar as like a little side mission and no snowball rains, so we can just quickly cut that in. But, after invading those two countries, they have nowhere left to expand. there's nowhere left for them to go except Saudi Arabia once again. Now, if the UAE went to war with Saudi Arabia again, they would win. But issue is, they can't. There's a peace treaty. So, the UAE, as hard as it is, they're going to have to wait for ages for Saudi Arabia's peace treaty with them to end. Because they really want to invade Jordan and Saudi Iraq. Iraq was never really a part of the alliance. It's just, Iran had to get down to Saudi Arabia. So, the UAE and Iran are good allies. Iran said, if you invade Iraq, we won't give a care. Because we don't care on Iraq. They were only in the war to help. But after like 2 years or 3 years of waiting, we have UAE redeclaring war on Saudi Arabia, making the world not happy again. And this time, the UAE is going to win this. This is without any help from Iran, and their military is still kind of hurt from that war, but they're an empire, so I guess they're forcing people to work. They recapture Riyadh, actually. They recapture Riyadh, and Saudi Arabia is not going to surrender. But after troops get as close as they can to Mecca and Medina, the people will force the government to just go in with everything. So Saudi Arabia is going to push in with all their might, but yeah. With nothing left, they never surrendered, because Muslim, you know. But, yeah, and I don't normally show the peace treaty, but you know what the UAE is going to do, don't you? You know what the UAE is going to do. They have really no option but to fully annex Saudi Arabia, and they should have done that in the first case. But the issue is, they didn't have enough strength to fully annex Saudi Arabia. So UAE fully annexed the rest of Saudi Arabia, and now they prepare for invasion of Iraq until Iraq says no, as well as Jordan. Okay, okay, let's just be honest. Even if Jordan said no, I don't think they would give a crap. So they listened to Iraq for the most part. They were going to get Turkey involved in the war, but the Iraqi government said no, we have an alliance. And they actually did do a pretty good offer in offering the land that UAE was going to annex in the peace treaty, which is, let me just draw it up, taking around this chunk, and also, sadly, their coast, just Kuwait. Iraq says they'll be happy with that, and also unite with Iran after, and they were struggling even to, incorporate the land they took from Saudi Arabia, and they said, we have no issue with just giving you our land. So, this is going to cost money, but they think it's worth it. They get more coast on the Persian Gulf, which I don't exactly know what it's going to do, because it's literally just Iran now bordering that, as well as the UAE. But they take Kuwait, which is the first land purchase they do, for 300 million, and then this land here costs quite a lot more. This land will cost around 655 million to buy. But after they buy that land, Iraq is going to unite into Iran, giving them everything they have. And that's just going to do it for this empire video. This is a pretty big empire considering this is the UAE. But the UAE is done with their expansion, and that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.